And I'm sitting in what they call a half lotus pose. So I've got my one thigh over top, on top of my crossed legs. You can just cross your legs the regular way, or you can try what I'm doing. Either one is perfectly fine. But again, just being mindful of our posture. Nice long spine, crown of head to the sky, open a little across the chest, shoulder blades slightly together. Let's bring our hands to heart center. And then exhaling and bringing the hands down towards the thighs. And on the upswing, inhaling, round up to the top, meeting at the top, and coming down, exhaling through the center. Inhale up. Meeting in the middle, exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, and you can decide if you want to go faster or slower at the same pace as I do. Just feeling what feels nice for your body and calming for your body today as we're doing our simple seated sun salutations. And one more round. And when you're done the round, bringing your hands to heart center. Dropping the right hand beside you onto the mat, bringing the left arm up and over, keeping the left hip bone, sitting bone rooted into the mat as you reach over, and rolling your shoulder back, so you're not hunching forward, rolling back. And dropping the left arm, bringing the right arm up, planting the left hand, right arm up and over, keeping that right hip planted, right sitting bone planted, and float it down. And then we'll float up and over, side to side, sort of like the side body version of the sun salutation. And breathing, generally inhaling as you're going up and over, and then exhaling as you're going down. Usually in yoga, it's inhale up, exhale down, just sort of as a general rule of thumb, if that's helpful. And when you're ready, gently floating both arms down. And then let's take a look, bringing our chin and our nose over towards our right underarm. And if this neck stretch is enough just as it is, then that's fine. You can keep it this way. If you'd like just a little more, you can bring the right hand to the lower base of your skull, the back, so just above your neck, and gently rotate your nose towards your underarm. And if you want to intensify it just a little bit more, you can bring the left hand and plant it beside your left hip, just to sort of lengthen out the left side of the neck. Just like you're kind of checking to make sure your deodorant's working today. Which that's the beauty of doing this virtually. If mine wasn't, you wouldn't know, but thankfully it is. And breathing through this stretch, which can be, can be a little intense, and easing off if it's a little too much. But holding this stretch for a slightly prolonged period is actually very good in loosening up some of the tension that we carry in our neck and shoulders. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, rotating back to a neutral position with the head, lowering the right hand, and then bringing the nose and the chin towards the direction of the left underarm. You can drop the right hand down on the mat beside you to increase the stretch on the right side of the neck. And then if you want, you can take the left hand and bring it towards the back of the head and gently encourage the nose a little bit more towards the underarm. Trying to breathe through some of the tension you feel. Of course, if it's too much, you back off. And trying to remember to keep the spine nice and long as you do that, so you're not rounding the spine. Slow, gentle breaths. And head back to neutral. Let's take the right arm and bring it up and over, patting yourself on the back in between your shoulder blades-ish, probably like lower neck in between your upper shoulder blades. And then taking your left hand and bringing it behind you, bending at the elbow and reaching your forearm and fingers up towards your right fingers. Now, perhaps your fingertips will interlace, just at the fingertips. That's great. If that's not happening for you today and they're just sort of coming close to one another in the same general direction, like they're yearning for one another, that's great too. This is called Gomukhasana arms, and it provides a nice little opening of the chest and a little slight back bend. And if you want to, you can lengthen the spine on the inhale through the crown. And then exhaling, hinging at the hips, leading with your heart coming forward over your legs, so that your spine is in one nice long line from your tailbone to your head. And this is an option, it's not a requirement. And then inhaling, leading with your heart and coming back up. Release your arms and shake them out a little. And same on the other side. So we'll take the left arm, bring it up and over, patting yourself on your lower neck, upper in between shoulder blades. Then bringing the right arm behind, bending at the elbow, bringing the forearm and fingertips yearning towards the left fingertips. Making little adjustments to make it more comfortable, accessible, challenge yourself more as you see best in your body today. And then you can stay here, or if you'd like to lengthen on the inhale. And then exhale, leading with your heart hinging at your hips, coming forward, nice long spine, tailbone to head. Breathing. And then leading with the heart and coming back up. Shake out your arms if you'd like. From here, let's place the right hand about a foot away from your right glute. I'm tenting my fingers. That makes it a little easier for me. It might make it easier for you, or you want to try a flat hand, you can try that. But you want to be sitting up nice and long, crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, look to the right and take your left back of your hand and place it against your right thigh, just above your knee. Act as a little bit of leverage. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and twist a little to the right, looking over your right shoulder. Now, we never want to wring the spine out. I always cringe when I hear that expression. It's not a sponge or a rag. We just want to gently twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. Coming back to center. Other side, left hand beside left glute. Lengthening on the inhale. Exhale, twist left. Bring the right hand and place the back of the right hand on just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist left. Look over the shoulder. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And back to center. Let's extend the arm, right arm straight out in front, placing the fingertips down towards the floor and the palm facing towards us. Then taking the left hand and gently pushing on the back of the right hand, bringing the right palm more close to us. Just a top of the wrist stretch. And then flipping the right palm over so the palm is away from us and the fingertips are down. Then taking the right hand and gently pulling back on the right fingertips towards our body. Stretch the other side of the wrist. And release. Left arm straight out in front, fingertips towards the floor, palm facing us. Take the right hand and gently press on the back of the left hand towards us. Breathe. Flip the palm away from us, fingertips facing down, and then take that right hand and gently pull back on the left fingertips, stretching the other side of the wrist. Listening to our body, we don't want to make it too intense. We can always adjust. And release. And coming to tabletop. So in tabletop, we're mindful of our positioning. Our knees are under our hips, and our wrists are under our shoulders, and our fingertips are spread, like we want to give a really big high five. And we want to make sure that our elbows are not locked. So we don't want to like hyperextend our elbows by really pushing them forward. We want to keep just a slight bend in our joints. In general, it's good to keep a slight bend in the joints in yoga. From here, let's get some nice movement in the spine. We'll drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the tail into cow pose. And then round the spine, tuck chin to chest, tuck the tailbone. Oh my goodness, cat pose. Holy cats, I can, oh, I feel it in my back. That's good, it's a good feeling in the back though. Pushing into the hands. Inhale, drop the belly, raise the heart and the tail. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose, tuck the pelvis in, push into the hands. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting head and heart and tail. Rounding the spine on the exhale. Cat. Bringing to your spine to a neutral position. Let's now make a C shape with our side body. So bringing right shoulder and right hip together and looking over the right shoulder. Passing through center. And then left hip and left shoulder together. Oop, pop. Oh, I love it when I feel a bit of a pop in my hip. Maybe you feel that too. If it's a good pop, it's wonderful, which it should be. In, pass through center. Inhale, C-shape right. Exhale, pass through center. Inhale, C-shape left. Exhale, pass through center. One more time each side. Inhale right. Exhale, center. And C-shape left. Keeping the integrity of the arms. We don't want to be crouching down. And pass through center. From here, let's take the right leg and bring it straight back behind you with the toes, the balls of the toes on the mat. And then gently pushing through to your right heel. Giving a nice stretch in your right calf in particular. Keeping our arms nice and strong. Keeping our right leg nice and long and strong. And if you want, you can kind of pulsate into the right heel if that feels nice, or keep the pressure continuous. It doesn't really matter. This feels good to you. And then tabletop. And then left leg straight back, balls of the feet on the mat, balls of the toes. And then pushing into that left heel. Nice stretch in the left calf. Keeping the breath flowing. And back to tabletop. From here, let's lift the right arm, pick it up, bring it up to the side, fingertips to the sky, and then sweep it down. Bring the right arm across your chest so that the right palm is facing the sky, and then gently lower down so your shoulder is on the mat. And while your shoulder is on the mat, just lift your head up and take a little look to see where your hips are at. Your hips should be over top of your knees. From here, you can pick up your head and just bring it gently closer to the top of your mat to lengthen out your neck. And then you can extend your left arm straight forward towards the top of the mat for thread the needle. And breathe and focus on relaxing in this pose. If you want, you can pick up that left arm and bring the back of the left hand in contact with your right hip to take the bind. But you don't have to. Melting down into the mat as you breathe. And then taking the left hand, placing it on the mat and pushing back up to tabletop. Doing the same on the other side now, placing the weight in the right hand as you pick the left arm up, bring fingertips to sky, and then lowering it back down, bringing it across your chest, left palm facing the sky. Gently lowering down on your left shoulder onto the mat. Checking where your hips are at in relation to your knees. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to, make sure that we're roughly hips over knees. Picking up the head, bringing it towards the top of the mat to lengthen out the neck. And then bringing the right arm straight out in front towards the top of the mat. And breathe. And if you want to take the bind with the right arm and bring the right back of the hand to the left hip, you can, or not. The only thing that I'm going to insist on in this pose is you keep breathing. Keep breathing is very important. Now placing the right hand onto the mat and pushing yourself up to tabletop. From here, let's go to Mandukasana. So that is a pose where we'll take our knees and bring them mat width apart. And you're in this pose, while you're doing that, your knees should be in line with your pelvis so that your knees and your pelvis basically make a triangle shape. And your shins should be in line with the side of your mat. Now from here, you can walk your hands forward and lengthen and strengthen out the arms. And you can either do this pose, if you like, where you keep the arms strong and you keep your biceps by your ears while also simultaneously Sort of shifting your shoulders down and away from your ears so your shoulders aren't scrunched up right by your ears, giving them a little space. Or if you want to take a more passive approach to this, suppose you can lower all the way down, forehead to the mat. Arms relaxed, forearms along the mat, and breathe. Either one has value, they're just a little bit different. Now from here, let's come forward onto our belly. Forehead onto the mat for a moment. Lying with our belly on the mat. And then picking up your torso and placing your elbows underneath your shoulders. And your forearms straight out in front and your hands spread. Being aware of the point of contact between the tops of your feet and the mat, your pelvis and the mat, and then focusing on lifting up through the heart space, as if someone's sort of pulling you up from underneath your underarms, lifting up, but keeping your gaze in between your hands. Sphinx pose. You could almost kind of imagine how a sphinx looks and how you can kind of embody that. This is a surprisingly active pose. One more breath in and out. And from here, let's move into tabletop again. And stepping the right foot forward in between your hands, tucking your back toes and lifting your back knee to low lunge. And then picking up the hands and placing them on the left thigh just above your knee. You can keep your hands here if that makes you feel a little more stable. Or you can bring the arms up, biceps by ears, fingertips to sky, high lunge. To transition, hands to heart center. And then pivot the back foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. Front knee over front heel, making sure you can see the front big toe. If you can't, shift the knee off to the side. And then bring your arms into a T for warrior two. Shoulders down and away from your ears and arms outstretched like you've got someone pulling on each arm in opposite directions. Looking over your right fingertips. From here, straighten your front leg and then reaching your front arm over your front leg and windmilling the arms so that your right hand goes onto your right shin, your left fingertips to the sky. Or if you're able to come down to the mat, your fingertips to the right hand, that's an option. If it helps you for balance, you can look down at the ground. If you'd like a little bit of a balance challenge, you can look up at the sky. And if you'd like just a little more, you can take the bind with the left arm, bringing the back of the hand to the right hip. These are all, little add-ons. If you took the bind, bring the hand back up to the sky. And then coming back up into warrior two. Arms in a T, make sure you see that front big toe, knee over heel. Dropping the left arm, lifting the right arm up and over into peaceful warrior, looking up at the sky, lifting up through the heart. Back to warrior two. Hands to heart center. Pivot the right foot so it's parallel to the left foot. And bring the hands up to a high prayer position, to a star pose. Keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears and tilting the pelvis so it's slightly forward. We're not sticking our butt out here, we're rotating things forward. And then hands to heart center, let's step it together. And we're going to do a balance pose, tree. And for a tree, I'd recommend if you could be near a wall, just to help you out with balance, especially if you're a little uncertain. You can have one hand on the wall. And standing so that you shift your weight just a little bit into the left foot. Crown of the head to the sky, abs engaged. Finding a focal point in front of you on the floor that's not going to move. And strengthening up that left leg. Now, take the right foot and bring the right heel to the inside of the left leg, just above the ankle and the balls of the toes on the floor. Just to get used to it. Now from here, you can slowly bring the sole of the right foot up your leg. And you might bring it all the way up into your upper thigh groin. You might have it on your calf, but not on your knee joint. We don't want it on the knee joint because that puts extra pressure there. And wherever you find your foot, I'll encourage you to make a nice strong contact between your thigh and your foot. And if you feel like it, you can release the wall and bring hands to heart center or out into a goddess type arms or up to full tree. And then hands to heart center and gently bring the right leg down. And if you want to hold the wall throughout the whole thing, that's totally cool. Let's shift our weight into our right foot, making sure we feel stable in our foot, our toes are spread, our foot's nice and stable, good contact with the ground. Let's bring that left heel just above our right ankle and the balls of the left foot are on the floor. Nice long spine, crown head to the sky, engage our abs. And then we can slowly bring the foot up the leg, avoiding the knee. You can bring it up right to your groin, can't go any further, or somewhere in between that and the floor, wherever. And if and when you're ready, releasing the wall, hands to heart center. Watch that focal point that helps with concentration. You can open your arms if you like. Hold the wall if you like. And with control, bring it back down. Let's step back. If you've left your mat, step back onto the mat. Left foot parallel to the bottom of your mat. Stepping forward into warrior two. Arms in a T, front knee over heel. And then windmill the hands down to frame the front foot. Pivot to low lunge. And back to tabletop. Now we're going to do the other side. So left foot forward this time, in between the hands. Tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee. Making sure we feel stable in our low lunge. If you need to widen your stance, you can do that. Then coming up, you can bring hands to left thigh for more stability, or bring hands, fingertips to sky, biceps by ears. Hands to heart center, pivot. The back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Front left knee over heel. Make sure you can see the left big toe. Arms into a T. Shoulders away from the ears, looking over the left fingertips. Warrior two. Straightening the front leg. Leaning front arm and torso over the front leg. And windmilling the hands so that the right fingertips are to the sky, and the left hand can be on your shin or down onto the floor. Triangle pose. Rotating the back, so the right shoulder back, and imagining that you're in between two panes of glass. We want our body to, the shoulder to be rolled back to help us fit between those two panes of glass. And you can look up at the sky if you want, or down at the ground. And if you want to take the bind with your right arm, you can, or not. And if you took the bind, lifting the arm back up to the sky, and then coming back up into warrior two. Dropping the back arm, bringing left arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Looking up at the sky. Back to warrior two. Hands to heart center, pivoting the left foot parallel to the right foot. And then bringing the hands up to high prayer. Star pose, shoulders down away from the ears, rotating the pelvis forward. Hands to heart center and step it together. We're going to try a slightly different pose this time, not tree. We're going to do chair pose. And in chair pose, we're going to keep our feet hip width apart. Picking up the toes, spreading them out, placing them gently back down, not gripping gently. And then bringing the arms at a 45-degree angle out straight in front. And then lowering it down into a seat, as if we're sitting in a chair. And you can stay here, or we can play around with it a little bit. If you want to lift your heels up, try to balance on your toes for fun, that's an option. If you want to try something a little different, you can lower your heels and bring the arms back behind you, placing your hands right beside your outer hips, and then bringing your torso down alongside, it's almost parallel to your thighs. This is diver's pose. And if you want to, in diver's pose, you can experiment with lifting one heel up or both heels up, or lowering them down if you just want to sort of feel what it feels like to be in the pose without fully committing. And then coming back up to standing. And stepping the left foot forward with the right foot parallel to the back of the mat. Left knee over heel. Arms in a T, warrior two. Shoulders down. Gazing over left fingertips. Then windmilling the hands to frame the left front foot. And coming into a low lunge. And back to tabletop. And then back onto a seat. And from here, we're going to place our sitting bones, nice rooted and firm into the mat. And we're going to place our feet flat on the mat in front of us with our with our knees, with our knees to the skies, not our knees, our knees to our skies, and hold the backs of the legs, and then just gently lean back. So you're making a bit of a V between your front body and your thighs. And in this position, just feel how it feels to open up across the collarbones and slightly bring the shoulder blades together. And if you're good here, you stay here. If you'd like a little more, bringing the shins up so that they're parallel to the mat. And then if you want a little more, you can release your arms forward, opening up across that chest. And if you want still a little more, you can lengthen the legs. Whew, I had the wiggles there for a sec. Ah. And gently with control, lower back down. And then place your hands under your shoulders with your fingertips towards the front of the mat. So wrists under shoulders, fingertips facing forward, feet planted on the mat. Inhale, exhale, lifting the hips up, reverse tabletop. You can either relax your head back, or if it feels better to lift the chin and the head forward, you can do that too if that's nicer for your neck. Keep those hips nice and lifted. Lower back down. From here, let's come to a seat with our legs straight out in front of us and our feet flexed. Feeling our sitting bones, not shifting anything away, but just feeling them. Nice long spine, crown of head to the sky. Open across the chest. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinging at the hips and leading with the heart, coming forward over your legs. And you may come forward with your hands on your legs. You may come down a little bit more. But wherever you're at, sort of yearning your chest towards your feet. And that lengthens out your lower spine, which is safer. And then gently relax down. And breathe. And flex your feet as you can. And if you can adjust by yearning your chest forward towards your feet a little bit, that's great. And if you do not feel in that today, that's okay too. And when you're ready, leading with your heart and coming back up. From here, let's keep the left leg long and take the right leg and right foot and crossing it such that your right knee is stacked on top of your left knee and your right heel is close to your left hip. So you're basically wrapping your right leg around the other side of your body, stacking your knees. This is shoelace pose. And here, we'll inhale and lengthen. And exhale, leading with your heart and hinging at your hips, coming over the legs, a little or a lot. And trying to relax down where you are. Trying to soften as you inhale and exhale. Trying to exercise patience where you are with yourself right now. And then leading with your heart, coming back up. And then take your left leg and wrap it around so that your left heel is right beside or slightly in contact with your right hip. So the knees are stacked on top of one another and your legs are wrapped around your body. And you might be okay just sitting here. This might be plenty for you. And if that is the case, then sit and breathe and try to relax into the pose. And if you'd like a little more, you can lengthen on the inhale through the crown of your head. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, leading with your heart and coming over the legs. And relaxing down. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Leading with the heart keeps the spine nice and long. And unwind the legs. This time keeping your right leg long and bringing your left knee on top of the right and bringing the left heel over to the right hip. And you can stay here and focus on lengthening and breathing, which is perfectly great. But if you'd like a little more, you can lengthen on the inhale and leading with the heart coming over the legs and softening down. One thing I love about poses like this is it helps teach us that in challenging positions we can still find ease if we look for it. And then lengthening the spine and coming back up. And this time let's bring the right leg around, bringing the right heel in contact with or just beside the left hip. Knees on top of one another, Gomukhasana legs. And lengthening up through the spine on the inhale. And either staying here and breathing and enjoying this, or lengthening forward over the legs and soften down. Keeping the breath flowing. And then leading with your collarbones and coming back up. From here, unwinding the legs and creating a diamond shape with your legs. The knees are out to the side and your feet are meeting in the middle, both the soles pressed against one another, and your legs look like a diamond. This is seated star. And in seated star, we're going to open up across our chest, bring our shoulder blades slightly together and our shoulders down and away from our ears. And then inhaling and exhaling, coming down forward. And maybe you come down and place your hands in between your legs and support yourself, or if you're able to come down a little bit more and relax over your legs, you can do that as well. Try to breathe and soften in your body. Leading with your chest coming back up. And now let's shift to laying down position. Woohoo. Laying down and placing your feet on the mat, knees to the sky. Then bringing your knees in towards your body and putting one knee in one hand, and then rotating, bringing the knees in towards you, then bringing them, circling them away from one another, and bringing them together at the top and back down through the center. Sort of a similar motion to what we did with our arms and our hands in the beginning, sun salutations. Making gentle circles in opposite directions with our knees. Breathing as you go. And then when you come to bring them together the next time, let's do in the opposite direction. So bringing the knees up and away from one another, back down towards your body and in towards one another. So posing circles in the opposite direction. enjoying watching your breath as you move. And then bringing the knees together. And then reaching in between your knees with your arms and your hands. And then reaching for and grabbing your outer feet with your hands. And then bringing the feet, the soles of the feet, so that they're parallel to the ceiling. And pulling down on your legs. Checking the position of your back. Your back should be in full contact with the mat, and your shoulders should be in contact with the mat. And this is Happy Baby. And in Happy Baby, some people like to, pull on one leg, then pull on the other and kind of rock back and forth. I'm a bit of a classic Happy Babyer, and I like to just stay still, but to each their own. They've got options. And when you're ready, release and bring the knees together and hug your knees into your body. And rock back and forth if that feels nice. And then gently coming to a stop and moving into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, our legs are going to be nice and long in front of us, slightly apart. Feet off to each side. Your shoulders are in contact with the mat, sliding them down and away from your ears. Slightly bringing your shoulder blades together to open up across your chest. Arms long to the side, slightly away from your body, palms to sky. Placing the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth behind your two front teeth, sort of where the teeth and the gum meet. Gently pressing. Relaxing your face, relaxing your back and your chest and your belly. Relaxing your arms and your hands. Relaxing your glutes and your abdomen. Relaxing your legs and your feet. Being aware of your body and feeling how it feels right now. Trying to identify and slightly relax any points of tension in your body. And on the topic of patience, I hope that if there are any challenging poses today, you are able to greet them with some patience and grace towards yourself. We are all a work in progress. Yoga is a wonderful way to explore that. And I'm so glad you came today. And my wish for you this evening is you take some of the thinking about patience for yourself, for the others, for the world, for your body, and find a useful place for that in the rest of your day. And with that, let's wiggle our fingers and toes a little bit and wake ourselves up. And placing your feet on the mat, knees to the sky. Rolling over to one side, using the arm as a pillow. and gently pressing up into a seat. Oh boy, time goes by fast when you're having fun.